Husband cheated. He's still living with me and our 2 kids until I give birth and return back to work after paid parental leave. We've been talking about the breakdown and I can't help but feel he's displayed predatory behavior towards the girls he tried chatting up. I've been talking with my cheating ex-husband about the breakdown of our marriage and just wanted a second opinion or validation, I guess. We had been together for a little over 8 years. At the start of the year I found out we were pregnant with baby number 3, and then 2 weeks later I found out he had a secret Snapchat account where he would add random girls. He admitted he would spam press the add button on all girls that popped up. Creepy, I know. He would try and chat these girls up, he'd send explicit photos and videos of himself and would also ask them to meet up with him, relentlessly, and I can't seem to help but feel like those girls were also victims in all of this. I know that I was the victim, being married to someone who went to great lengths of having a double life and keeping it a secret, but I feel like he was displaying predatory behavior towards these girls and he doesn't see it at all. I was able to see a little bit of the Snapchat account at the time I found out and confronted him. In a lot of the chats, girls were giving him the scene. I got second-hand embarrassment when I saw that, because like how you gonna try cheat then get rejected, ha ha ha. Some of the convos that I did see, girls were saying things like I hate dating nowadays, men usually have more than one girl and it's so gross, to which he would say yeah, I totally agree, it's disgusting, yet he had me, his wife of almost a decade, who didn't know about him cheating, or that we have 2 children and I'm currently pregnant with our 3rd. He was exactly the type of gross that girl was describing. He would tell these girls that he was single and didn't have any children. He would give out fake names and fake towns so that they could never find him on social media, and obviously would only chat to them when he was at work away from me. If girls didn't like him sending unwanted dick pics, they couldn't trace it back to him because, yet again, everything he gave out about himself was fake. At one point he was sending wanking videos to a girl that had told him she was in a relationship, yet he continued to ask her to meet up with him and send her messages and photos. This girl actually recognized him because she follows me on social media, so was able to make the connection and expose him to me. Bless her. I told him that by keeping significant parts of himself a secret, like that the fact he's married and has been for the past 9 years, and that his wife doesn't know he's cheating on her, or that she's pregnant with their 3rd child, and that we do in fact have 2 more children, it took away their choice. I know not all women are the same, but 9 times out of 10, those girls would have ran for the hills if they knew the truth, but he went to great lengths to hide that. Him keeping all this cheating from me made me feel like he took my choice away, because had I known, I would have never bought a house with him, married him, nor agreed to give him 2 more children. Our 2 youngest were planned after we got married. During that whole time he was living a double life and I was kept in the dark, and I feel violated. Is this predatory behavior? I kind of want to read the comments to him, whether you agree or not, because he doesn't see it that way and I can't see how doesn't think it's predatory behavior. Comnet. His behavior is gross and disgusting, to say the least. He wants to be single and acting like a single man. He has totally disrespected you, your marriage, and your children. He doesn't care and he doesn't see that it's a problem, and he won't stop. He is a serial cheater and stalking SM until he finds another girl to lie and manipulate. It also sounds like he's addicted to it. He's a liar and cheater, and he deceives and manipulates. Why are you still married to him? It's definitely gross and also embarrassing for him. He had a loving wife and kids while sending multiple woman pics and videos of his nasty dick. He will never take accountability because he doesn't care. I hope he able to look his kids in the eyes when they're older and explain to them why he ruined their family. Whereas you are showing your children how strong you are and how no matter how much you love someone, always respect yourself more. I hope in the future you are able to find happiness with someone amazing. Good luck up. It's definitely gross and I think you should kick him out, but I wouldn't exactly say predatory behavior. He is disgusting and I hope you are able to move on because you and your kids deserve better. Your boy needs some mental health help, no fooling. I am so sorry you're going through this at a time when you should be able to enjoy your family and prepare for your new baby. Instead, your husband, who is the reason you're pregnant, is out there objectifying other women who just want to date. When he views people as objects to be used for his pleasure, he is being predatory. And he's being gross about it. No woman gets excited watching a strange man jerking himself on a video. He needs to get to the root of his problem. He needs professional help. Next story 2. My habitually cheating ex is blazing a trail of broken-hearted girls across the U.S. So for context here, I married my ex-male around 12 years ago. Our entire relationship was a nightmare. It would take a 532-page novel to explain every little messed up thing that this man put me through. This post of mine is a warning to my fellow Redditors to not ignore the red flags. I will list certain things, but the majority of this is about the title. So here is my story. Also, very nice to meet you all, laughing face. So 2 weeks into living with each other and him pampering me like a princess took a severe turn from dreamland to absolute nightmare. The cheating started with him locking himself in the bathroom with his laptop and polishing his silver. To ex-girlfriends of his that he would manipulate into sending videos. Graphic stuff. He didn't even try to hide it after the initial 2 weeks. I had moved across quite a few states for this guy. Had no family near me and was on iffy terms with family back home. This initial sort of cheating was never explained, and he would become angry if I asked any questions. He started with manipulation tactics and moved on to just tearing me down piece by piece. Little things, like my weight, I have PCOS and severe depression, or the way I talked, ate, dressed, and everything in between. I fought it for a while, but after a year I gave up on myself. I was pitiful, young, and honestly a little dumb. A couple years later he was outright just hooking up with whoever and had pushed me to the point of silence, always reminding me that no one would ever have me. We didn't even have relations. I was just a housemaid at that point. Things got worse after I found out that he was having relations with our babysitters, 16F, and 17F, and he could no longer be trusted around our infant daughter. He got kicked out of my home but still tried to get me to take care of him. Which I did out of guilt for kicking him out. I went to take him to work one day because he had no vehicle of his own and neither did the friends he was staying with, and I get there to find him gone. His buddies told me that he had decided to just up and get a bus ticket to Florida to shack up with one of the girls he had been talking to on and off throughout our marriage. I felt free. It was the most soul-crushing yet oddly freeing thing I ever went through. But wait, there is more. A year later I get a phone call from Florida girl. She begged me to tell her everything that happened with our marriage. He had not disclosed he had a kid or a wife. He had left her the same way, bus ticket to his home state for another girl he met online. She was horrified by what I had told her. She asked for proof that he was a habitual cheater. Remember when I said he liked to get a hold of exes and exchange nudes? Yeah, well, he tried it with me and I saved the photos. She was astounded that those were photos of him in her bathroom. We are still FB friends to this day. Next girl, Mississippi girl. Same thing happened, although she was lucky enough to catch on quickly and ended up kicking him out. Around this time I was working at a gas station and a younger girl asked me if I was married to him. I said not any longer. I had started seeing an old high school sweetheart. We got happily married some years ago. Well, she apologized to me. I asked her why the apology. Before he was kicked out of my home he was sleeping with this girl. She was 14. My dear readers, I almost dropped to the floor. After she left I nearly tossed up my lunch in the bathroom and cried all over my boss. Next event I was notified of was when MS girl got a hold of me and asked me to comfort his next victim. He started dating her when she was 19. This was, I think, a couple years ago now. He led her on hard and got good at hiding his cheating. Asked this girl to marry him. 2 months before their wedding he did the same thing to her. She had already gotten the venue, dress, down payment on a new place. The whole shebang. Just up and left her with no excuse while she was away. I got a hold of her and he manipulated her to the point where no matter what I said to her she wanted him back. I was heartbroken for her. Last time I had an update he was in Alabama and it sickens me he is out there abusing young girls with no remorse. Pretending to be honest about his shortcomings, and when he tires of them he hunts down another vulnerable girl to use for a while. Don't ignore red flags. My mental recovery was the most brutal thing I have ever had to deal with. I am lucky enough to have found a wonderful man who has encouraged my healing, but there is still so much emotional trauma I've yet to unpack. I hope you guys stay safe and run whenever your gut tells you to. I would hate to see this happen to anyone. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I will answer these to the best of my ability. Comment. I wish there was a way. But I got out and can stand on my feet again. But sharing my story is not for sympathy but a post to help people realize that it's okay to walk away and to always pay attention to that crimson flag. You won't break if you do. If you ever see a woman suffering, tell them it's okay to let go and their world won't crash around them. Hope you are living your best life. I don't know if this helps, but there are groups on Facebook called Are We Dating the Same Guy? You can upload photos of him, name, and experience with him. Some groups let you upload anonymously, and if they don't, it's common for women to upload each other's stories. If you are still talking to the woman in Florida, you can ask her to join the one for the city and state she is in, and you can join for the one that you are in. And share your experience in case he tries another girl in either of your state. If you don't want it linked back to you in any way, I can upload it for the groups I'm in Florida. He was reported when he touched my babysitters. The mother of said babysitters did not pursue action as both of them were of age of consent in my state and from their mouths they consented. The 14-year-old girl only told me 2 years after he left the state. I had no idea at the time of our relationship that he was doing things with her or he would have been reported. Believe me, I was sickened to my very core, but as he was out of state I could only warn others when his activities were brought to my attention.